Back in May 2017, I saw a video from the YouTuber Rags about this game called Dirty Bomb. I'd heard it mentioned a few times before from YouTubers like Total Biscuit, and I'd seen it pop up occasionally on the Steam free-to-play page, but I'd never really paid much attention. This 50-minute video, of which I ended up watching every minute of, presented what looked like a really interesting team shooter. I'd played TF2 in pitiful 15 FPS on my old laptop, but Overwatch still hadn't released and I really wasn't too familiar with the world of character-based team shooters, but Dirty Bomb looked very interesting to me. Given my aforementioned awful laptop, I decided that one day when I got a proper PC, I'd give Dirty Bomb a proper go. Fast forward to about a year later and I was pretty bored of Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch. I was scrolling through my games on Steam and I saw Dirty Bomb, which I had installed and barely touched since I got my PC. I decided to boot up the game and try it out, remembering the Rags video I'd watched about how good the game was. Over the next month or so, I put almost 150 hours into the game and loved pretty much every minute of it. The gameplay was frantic and fast-paced, yet highly skill-dependent in terms of both ensuring you fulfill your role and you are able to help your team towards victory. It was the first game in a while that I thought was truly different and unique. Of course, though, playing that much within 2 months burned me out a little bit, so around late July I decided to take a break from the game for a little while. I still frequented the subreddit and, like many others, I was excited for the 1.0 release and hoped it would bring a new wave of players into the game. 1.0 released and the game hit 4,000 concurrent players, which was a massive increase from the roughly 1,000 the game had idled at for months before 1.0. However, with Dirty Bomb being the game it was, and with the lack of marketing budget behind the 1.0 release, that active number dropped again down to around 1,000, with many new players being turned off the game's highly concentrated player base and aggressively steep skill curve. Come late October 2018, Splash Damage released the game update that would signal the end of active development on Dirty Bomb, stating that the project had become financially unsustainable, but that one last update would come to the game and the servers would remain online as long as a meaningful number of players continued to play the game. There was a lot of mixed emotion in-game and over on the subreddit, with many long-term players saying that this was only really a matter of time with the way development had been going for the game for the past year or so. It was a massive contrast from the hopeful optimism the day after the 1.0 release when the player base had increased so much. Dirty Bomb was and still is a very good game and people do still play it, but why did the game fail so badly just after release? Whilst development had slowed over the years and communication between the devs and the community had been lacking in the time leading up to 1.0, I don't think these can really be fully attributed to the crash in players after the 1.0 full release. Yes, better communications and update frequency would have helped the existing player base prior to full release, but this is a game we're talking about that had millions of downloads but only just over 1,000 concurrent players for a long time. I think Dirty Bomb was, in my opinion, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Even with Overwatch being old news by the time 1.0 rolled around, it was still a more polished product than Dirty Bomb when it came to the overall game functionality, so people that wanted a team-based competitive shooter would play that. People that wanted something similar that wasn't Overwatch had probably already sank hundreds, if not thousands of hours into Team Fortress 2, a game that will probably never die, and casual gamers don't really want to have to learn an entirely new and very different game with an extremely steep skill curve. Dirty Bomb was in a weird place that made it both criminally underrated, yet also very difficult to get into unless you were fully dedicated to it. When you have a game like that, you end up with a hyper-concentrated player base of veterans who know the game like the back of their hand as the majority, and a very small minority of players being either occasional players or people that are very new to the game that saw it on the Steam free-to-play section. Hyper-concentrated player bases aren't fun to play within as a new player because if you're not immediately directed to somewhere where all new players can go without the risk of running into seasoned veterans like the level-locked servers in Dirty Bomb, which were there but they were never really explained to new players, you'll get stomped straight away, which is a great way of making people immediately uninstall the game. I think probably the worst part about Dirty Bomb's demise is how good the game actually was. Gunplay was really tight and responsive, teamwork was essential yet easy to coordinate, and the monetization system was, surprisingly, completely fair and balanced to ensure the game was anything but pay to win. But alas, the title was not sustainable. Dirty Bomb's final update placed the game into a fully free-to-play state, making all mercenaries free for all players, vastly increasing the credit earn rate, removing all premium currency from the game and exchanging it for credits, making loadout cards, cases and keys purchasable with credits, and reintroducing a lot of the older time-limited content into the game, so everybody has the potential to get their hands on almost absolutely everything in the game, regardless of when they started playing. Dirty Bomb's dedicated servers will continue to run in active regions until the end of 2019, at least, though no decision has really been made yet on what will happen to the servers after said time, and Multiplay, a third-party provider, will be closing their own community server hosting on February 28th this year. As concurrent player numbers now sit around the mid to high 800 mark, Dirty Bomb's time is definitely limited, and all hopes for the game have pretty much dissipated unless Splash Damage suddenly decide to sell off the IP. All that is left is to enjoy the time left with this criminally underrated title, and hope that Splash Damage can learn from this title and do better with their next attempt. Dirty Bomb was a product of everything they learned from making Brink, and hopefully the next title will prove third time lucky for the team. If you're able to run it on your computer, do go ahead and try out Dirty Bomb while it's still available. The game is an absolute masterpiece in my opinion in terms of gameplay functionality, and serves as a great bastion of how to do both free-to-play and team-based shooters properly. Unfortunately, Dirty Bomb couldn't draw in the player numbers to keep going after its 2015 release. For me, the game will always stand out as one of the best games I've played in a long time, and I do look forward to seeing what Splash Damage will do next. Thanks for watching. Dirty Bomb is a game that managed to pull me in with its unique gameplay, and it is a shame to see it die off. I wanted to wait for the final update to make this video, and the final update really is a pretty great one. Again, if you haven't tried it, do try Dirty Bomb at least for a few hours, because within a year or so, this game will be completely dead, and in my opinion, everyone should at least experience this game. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like and let me know your opinions on Dirty Bomb in the comments below. Don't forget to join our Discord through the link in the description, and check out the channel whilst you're there. There's plenty of content already on the channel, with more content coming for games like Ark, Conan Exiles, COD Zombies, Red Dead and more. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first to see the next video, and join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.